Alright, how you getting on now? I just came from back off vacation and went home to Newfoundland, and it was fucking magic. Lovely. Had a great time and saw a lot of old friends and stuff like that, and I needed it desperately. My usual swagger had turned into a downtrodden waddle. Needed a vacation, needed to go home. It was great to see everyone. And I run into a bunch of fellers, old friends of mine, and just hey, how you getting on? And they'd say, oh, I love your videos. Of course, my thought would be, oh, the porn. But some guys were really digging them and liking them, and they asked for a few things and so I'm on my lunch break right now. I mean, I'm not doing shit, so let's talk about some chicken picking. This is for Bill, who's been kind of digging the rockabilly Italian kind of stuff. So this is for Bill. I am not a great country player. I play a lot of country gigs, and like there's real legit country players, and I aren't one of them. I don't think, but there's a lot of stuff you can adapt from your playing already. That's you could. How are we doing for time here? Not doing too bad. That could be put into country songs and things like that. One lick I'm just going to kind of go over really quick, and I'm pretty sure I ripped this off from an Albert Lee lesson. But anyway, it's something you can, now, in this context, we'll use it as like a 5 going back to the 1 sort of thing. So in the key of A, if we're in the key of A, like doing a typical country, or whatever, that sounded like shit. Or something like that. When you hit your 5 chord, your E, you can be just trucking along, but resolving from the E back to the A. You could do something like this. So, let's talk about that. Which might even be a better way to play it. So that's over your E chord, E7. So let's say you're trucking along from an A into your D into that lick. So let me just get into that lick again really quick into context. And so we'll do just some bullshit in A, bullshit in D, and then land on that lick. Right, so this little thing, you'll start on the B string in the your index finger on the 7th position. On the B string, the 2nd string. So with your, you're going to do some hybrid picking in this as well. It's freaking dry here today. Like I came from like Newfoundland, and it's the air's, well, I mean, I consider the air perfect because I'm from there, right? And you come back to Alberta in the wintertime and it's dry and shit. Anyway, so with some hybrid picking as well, with your middle finger, you're going to pluck up on the B string from the E, middle finger on the 8th fret on that G note, and then hammer on with your pinky to that's an F sharp, and then resolve down to the E on the 9th fret on the G string with your pick. So you're going to pluck with the right hand, you're going to pluck your middle finger straight onto lift that string straight up so it kind of slaps against the fret. And hammer on with your pinky to downstroke onto the G string 9th fret for that E note. Go down to a D. Now we're going to do a little descending 3-note descending chromatic thing on the D string 9th to the 9, 8, 7th frets. Now you're going to make a little schmutz. A little kind of progressive schmutz with your right hand for this next part. Because the next part is like... So that little part there is... You're going to make it like a percussive thing. Cluck, if you will. before you land on this A note. Then go down to the 5th fret to play that G. Hammer on the G sharp. Hit that E on the A string in the 7th fret. Now we're going to come down from that E to that D. Same chromatic run an octave lower on the 7th, 6th, and 5th fret. Another little schmutz. You'll find country is full of these little percussive things. I think that's where chicken pickin' and like things like funk bass, like slap, pop slap style bass have a lot in common. There's a lot of like percussive little things in there. So we're this far now. So we've come down chromatically now an octave lower. It's from B, B flat to A. We're going to make another little percussive, and then we're going to come down to the 3rd position with our middle finger. We're going to go from the 3rd fret, low E string, and hammer on then to the 4th fret and low E string from the G to the G sharp. Then you're going to skip a string, come underneath it with the right hand. You're going to pull up on that sucker and play an E note. So now we have this. Let's try that again. And there's a lot of palm muting in this too. I mean, and it's you can dictate and say, well, you have to palm mute here, and you must palm. Fuck that. I mean, just do it to your own taste. You'll hear it, and your ears and hands will tell you what to do. And to your own kind of taste and whatever, right? Because I've never been accused of having good taste. Let me tell you that. You don't want to go by me. Now, to resolve we're still in the E7 there. So to get resolved from that E7 back to the 1, we're just going to walk down. There's all kinds of ways you can do that. Like E to E flat to D. Pull that C on the 3rd fret A string up to a C sharp, and then resolve to that A. There's there's tons of ways you can get in and out of that. I've been resolving when playing a lick similar to this or this. I've been doing this nice little oblique bend. Now you really got to use your ears for this one. It involves a bit of stuff to kind of get it going, but once you kind of do get it going, it's a fairly natural thing. So you're going to do like a quick roll with your right hand on the A, D, and G strings, right? Now you're going to play like an A chord, like a good old-fashioned cowboy chord A chord. Now here's where it gets tricky. You're going to take your ring finger, you're going to hammer on the G string, the 4th fret. You're going to haul it out of tune too eventually. And while holding that down, you're going to pull up with your ring finger as like now you're playing what we call an oblique bend. You're going to pull up against that A chord and resolve it from. So it's basically the same note if you were doing this like pedal steel bend, but you're doing it in the different direction. And again, you're like while holding down that E note here and letting the A string ring. It works on an E too, like if you move everything down a set of strings. I guess you will play your guitar out of tune doing that, but if you end off like that and someone can take, the singer takes over the verse, you can take 2 seconds, hit your tune or retune and go back in, and it'll just sound like you're using the proper use of space, which is bullshit because you're just retuning, but whatever works. So anyway, here's that lick. There you go, boy. So you can come into that any way you like. If you come out of the A into that D, do a behind the nut, but I can't pull it off very often, so I tend to avoid it. Or in on a pedal steel bend, or something like that. Anyway, so there's Bill is a quick little chicken picking descending like an E. And if there's anything else you want covered or anything like that, I got all kinds of time, man. Let me know. Anyway, cheers. Enjoy.